Okay, great. So I'm going to be talking about big ideas that deserves links. So so I run a SEO agency that are probably most known for the way that we do outreach and link development. And so to start off with, I just want to go through a little bit of context to this and why we are doing the things that we do the way that we do it. So I think that the big problem with traditional content marketing in terms of actually using content itself, so written content, in order to generate links or getting coverage is not really that valuable anymore. The reason for that is that it's so much of it. It is so much of this kind of content that journalists and website owners are just completely engulfed in too much of this. So basically what have kind of happened is that we're writing this kind of content or creating low quality assets to get maybe one link. Now, in order to generate enough links to increase rankings, we need a lot more than one link. We need loads of links, and ideally we need loads of links that are of high quality. So in 2012, we started doing kind of content marketing very much on a bigger scale, but in the traditional form, more like writing article, blogger outreach, smaller kind of infographic stuff. But the value of what we were able to contribute in terms of authority from these links reduced over the years coming. So by end of 2014, the quality of what we're able to get to the clients wasn't enough in terms of being able to increase rankings fast enough to then get return on investment. So we changed our strategy completely in January 2015. I even closed down what was then the content team, and we decided we needed to go big, and we needed to go big or not do it at all. And since then, the increase in the quality and the authority of those links that we've been able to get has considerably increased. Basically, what we believe that you need to be doing is that you need to be creating content and ideas that sticks out. So this is from a English addict exec called Dave Trott. If everyone is drawing a cross, you need to be drawing a circle. So it's not necessarily saying that infographics don't work. It is saying infographics don't work if everyone else is doing infographics. And writing content or doing loads of surveys doesn't work if everyone else is doing that, in whatever kind of vertical that you work in. To be able to generate increase in rankings, you basically need to be able to do stuff that not everyone else is doing. Sounds very logical. So what we would like you to think of, to get the industry to think of is thinking a bit more like 50s ad execs and executing like geeks. That is what the future of link development is. So that's where I have the whole ideas and concept that deserves more than just links. This is very important because if you concentrate on creating ideas and visual assets or even written assets that deserves more than just the link, then you are, one, creating a safe and sustainable link development strategy, but you are also creating very likely high authority that also gets more links because it spreads. So let me give an example of this that we have done for one of our clients. So Expedia UK, pardon me, last year we created a very, very simple kind of visual campaign playing on creating old school travel posters, including animals that were already extinct. So basically creating these travel posters showing off animals like they were still alive. So this, we really wanted to have a artists that were really passionate about creating a specific style. And we outsourced this. We didn't actually create posters, they were digital posters. And so this is Mauritius, Meet the Dodo, our friendliest residents in the Moa, New Zealand. Now these very simple posters got some incredible coverage, including over 91 linking root domains so far from some of the most authoritative websites out there, including The Guardian, Washington Post, BBC, and so on. And a lot of sites that the client previously hadn't had as well. Also, very relevantly, he also got loads of social shares. And this is what I'm talking about. Creating campaigns, although this doesn't increase rankings as such, it does increase the reach of a campaign and the authority of the campaign, the authenticness of a campaign. So this got shares from The Guardian, BBC Travel, Huffington Post, and Washington Post as well. And this campaign also got print coverage. Now, this is the Observer Sunday, which is one of the biggest Sunday newspapers in the UK. And this was covered in the Sunday newspaper. And when an SEO campaign is good enough to get coverage in the newspaper, you know that there is no way that this is going to be deemed bad or dodgy from Google's point of view. This campaign even got turned into a fan-made mod for the Sims game, which I think is one of the most brilliant coverage from there. So basically, they created a modification in The Sims where you can include these posters in what language, I am not sure. And people started calling our office wanting to buy these posters, which is, again, quite exceptional for a campaign that is about generating links. And lastly, and I think most amazingly, it also generated a petition online where people signed this petition to thank the managing director of Expedia in the UK for commissioning this work. When does an actual marketing campaign get a petition for thanking someone? That is really rare, but it's all focused about doing something that's good. We are not trying to sell hotels like in PR or in advertising. What we're doing is that we're creating campaigns that are very much something that people would like to see and that has some good about it and getting some other coverage than just the links. Another campaign I quickly want to show you is a campaign we did for a company called Go Compare here in the UK. Now this campaign is an example of using data, which is I also think is extremely useful in terms of doing link development or outreach campaigns. So this campaign, we found a lot of really amazing data online about a very odd thing, which is the amount of deaths on screen in big Hollywood movies. And we created basically like a league table of who had the most on-screen deaths. It sounds very macabre, and in a way it is. And it's very simple using data that is already accessible. The surprising thing with this was that the winner won by quite a margin. Family movie, by all accounts. This campaign got an amazing amount of pickup from the get-go, although it was not particularly big in terms of creative output. The Guardian in the UK posted it, one of the first to post it, and it had an incredible amount of shares for them, as well as 159 comments. Because anyone that's listening to this now will probably be thinking, hang on, there were more deaths in Star Wars when they blew up a planet. But this was very specifically on-screen death. And by having something that were likely to invoke an emotional reaction in someone, you're more likely to get more shares and get it spread further. So actually within 12 hours of that work going up on The Guardian, James Gunn, who is the Hollywood director of the Guardian of the Galaxy, shared it on Twitter. Not only did he share on Twitter, but he spent 2 hours tweeting about the campaign, insisting that, no, they are correct. No, they are correct. This is actually the one with the most on-screen deaths, etc., etc. Again, creating a campaign that actually get this kind of buy-in from people around has huge impact on how far it can go. So this got an incredible 600 pieces of coverage from some amazing, huge sites. Again, it's not rocket science. It's not a campaign that is so expensive or anything. It is just being clever with data or creating something that is useful and appeal to people. It actually became a Twitter moment as well, which we haven't been able to replicate afterwards, but which is quite an amazing thing on its own, although we didn't do this with the objective of social. The point is that you have to consistently generate authority links throughout the year in order to be able to increase rankings for search engine results. And today, in 2017, you can't do that by blogger outreach or by creating articles and guest blogging or anything like that. You have to invest in creative ideas and create assets, whatever they might be, whether they're data, whether they're simple images. You can get this kind of coverage. Anyone can get these kind of coverage, but you have to invest the time. And I think now is the time for people to change the view and stop doing the same stuff that they always did. That is it. I think I managed to go within 10 minutes. Thank you very much.